Ever wonder how to genuinely connect with someone? Well, the secret lies in asking better questions to build human connection. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to ask questions, what questions to ask in order to build stronger bonds with another human being. I will specifically focus on the Western world, namely the United States, because not all cultures are built the same. And in some cultures, while it's acceptable to ask questions to complete strangers, colleagues, or clients, and get right to the point and asking about their personal life, in other cultures, not so much. Let's talk about those questions that people ask you when you first meet someone. Where are you from and what do you do? This is very common in the United States. It puts a lot of people into a state of anxiety and defensiveness because, God forbid, you are not at the same playing field as the other person. For me, I've lived in different parts of the world, so to this day, though I was raised in the United States for 30 years, people still ask me, where are you from? Because my accent isn't American, specifically New Yorker. We typically approach other people when we're looking for information. So this is really easy to do in a networking event. You want to get information about the career that you're entering. So you have a series of questions that you want to ask, except you don't really know how to ask. You really want to establish that trust very quickly earlier on because you're trying to get information. And if the person doesn't trust you, they're not going to share any information. So I've written down a few of my favorite questions when I'm networking and meeting people in general in the world. The first question that I love to ask to build a stronger human connection. What's something you're passionate about that you wish you had more time to pursue? What this question does is really inspires people to think about their dreams and what they would love to do. When they're in a positive state, thinking about this question, they're less likely to be on a defensive. And now you're sharing interests and you discover what that person is motivated by. And guess what? Maybe you're motivated by the same thing. And now you're having a friendly conversation that's aspirational and motivational and interesting to both people. The next question I love to ask is, what inspires you the most in your life right now? Similar to the first question, but right here we're trying to understand the motivation and what gets people to do what it is that they're doing. I mean, all of us has jobs, all of us have challenges in our day-to-day. But when you understand what inspires that person in that moment, you can really get them to think about ideas, and you want to connect on the ideas and the values because that really builds a stronger bond. The next question I ask, what dream or idea are you most excited about right now? It's very similar to the first one, but the dreams, when we're talking about that, it puts the future into the present. You really can think about your mutual dreams. So for me, I dreamed of having a YouTube channel and I dream of traveling. And when I'm talking to people about traveling and YouTube and entrepreneurship and creativity, they say, oh, I want to do that too. And that's one of my dreams. Like, how do you do it? And now you're sharing information that's opening the other person and you're understanding more on how they think rather than they just need to get through the checkbox of like, I'm this, I do this is how much I make, this is where I'm going in life, this is the checkbox, I'm married with kids, blah, blah, blah. That's all important, but you're trying to get to the heart and soul. Next question is, what's a cause or issue you care deeply about and why? I love discovering people's advocacy. You want to know what this person is willing to fight for. Like, what is it that gets them angry? What keeps them up at night? Because you want to know what they're passionate about. What are some causes that they care about? And I absolutely love this. So these are questions that open up conversations about what we love, helping us genuinely understand these common interests. So questions drive the cognition, and this is powerful because it activates our imagination and curiosity. And when we're thinking about what we want to do in life and what inspires us, it gives us a sense of purpose. It points us in the direction that we need to go. So why are questions effective in building human connection? I wrote some things down. Number one, it shows interest and engagement. When you're interested in what somebody has to say, how they feel, how they think, it shows them that you appreciate them as a human being. And if you're likely to appreciate them, they're likely able to reciprocate the appreciation, and they're likely to do what it is that you're asking them to do. And also they're likely to help. So this is always great. It's a great starting point. The next thing, it encourages deeper conversations. So questions invite people to assess their lives, to assess their worldview, and really think about their future and what it is that they're looking to do now. Having deeper conversations, what that means is you're going below the surface level of just standard conversations of like, hey, how are you? Family's good, blah, blah, blah. And when you go deeper, you can begin to peel the layers of their personality and discover their life. And it's a beautiful experience because in the depth of that connection is when you truly discover the person's essence and you really discover how to truly build trust and establish a relationship long term. You don't establish a relationship at the surface. You really got to go deeper into the person's psyche, into their challenges, their fears, their motivation. By going deeper, you build trust and rapport. In our world, we meet people and we're very transactional in our conversations and how we date them. We're just like, yeah, we could always replace them with someone else. But then this is why people are very lonely. I think the important thing is that when you have that patience to really go deeper with someone, the trust is the most beautiful thing. Also, you can ask very thoughtful questions as you go deep. And I think this is interesting. When you show the person that you care, that person is likely to reciprocate that and caring about you. People care about one another as they go deeper into that relationship. And it doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute conversation or a 10-year friendship. The next one, it facilitates empathy and understanding. When you ask questions, it helps you see the world from another person's perspective. And this is the case when you travel. And it's amazing because in that, you're very empathetic and understanding. You really begin to see that people are very similar with the same needs and wants and desires. And it doesn't matter if you're in India or the United States, Prague, in Czech Republic, you really see that we're all very similar. Yes, we're different because of culture, but a human being is a human being and we all want to be loved and appreciated. The next thing, encourages mutual exchange. When you share information, people really open up. And one of the things that I always pay attention to is that I try to share information about my life to encourage the other person to share information from their life. And I think that it shows a sense of vulnerability and connection right away because people have a hard time volunteering information easily. And I think it's because of my background being a New Yorker. We're always sharing information. We're always talking about ourselves. But in general, we just talk a lot. When someone feels comfortable around someone who talks about themselves in an authentic way and shares the pains and the pleasures, then they're most likely willing to open up, which is just amazing. The next time you meet someone and you think about how can I deeply connect with this person on a human level, think about the questions you would ask them that you would want someone to ask you. It's very frustrating when someone asks you just the standard questions. Are you married? Do you have kids? Who are you? Where do you work? But it's more inspiring and beautiful when somebody asks you, what is it that you love to do? What is it that you just find joy in? And I think that's amazing because it opens up understanding trust. These are the things that are just beautiful and why asking questions help establish a better human connection. In the next video, I will discuss how to get better at interviewing, and it's not what you think. I'm going to give you a hint. It has everything to do with soft skills. So please subscribe to my channel. If you've liked what you heard today, and even if you like my previous videos, leave a comment. I read all of them, and I greatly appreciate you. And like always, do the best that you can every day.